1971 to 1974. Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Trawler.
World Series Game 3, Tigers at Pirates.
All right, baseball fans, we are back to Game 3 of your 71-74 World Series. I want to show you the box score of Game 2. That the home team Tigers won 4-2. Outstanding pitching, both fronts. Coleman, 3 hits, 2 runs in 8 innings. But of course, Hiller struck out the side of the ninth, three straight. And then Bob Moose did okay after that bad 4th inning. He left the bases loaded, gave up 8 hits, and the 4 runs, 3 walks. 11 men reached 6-11 in that inning, but it was a 4-2 final. We moved to Pittsburgh, the 3 rivers, the confluence, convergence, or whatever you want to call that, of the 3 rivers. Detroit at Pittsburgh, Game 3. Your starting pitchers today. Bill Hands was not with Detroit in the offseason. He was a free agent. Cubs didn't want him anymore. Texas and Minnesota did not have room either. The Cubs didn't want him because they had too many righties. They had Bert Hooton, Rick Russell, Fergie Jenkins, Pinell Pappas. They let Hands go. Detroit said, come here. We need a 3-starter. And he was 12-18 with a 3.42 ERA and 242 innings for the Cubs. So the Cubs pitcher, Bill Hands, will start Game 3 for the Tigers. And it'll be Jim Rooker, acquired from Kansas City a couple off seasons ago. 10-6, 286 ERA and 170 innings in 1973. Now we're getting, once you get past Blast Moose, Lolich Coleman, we expect some fireworks, folks. Hands, Timmerman, Rooker, Foster, just kind of average names here. And so we're looking for some crooked numbers here in Pittsburgh, Game 3. Let's get started. Tigers will face the first lefty. They've juggled their lineup leading off. Billy Grabarkowitz, also playing second base. 46 is a K. Al Kaline, 36 is a walk. Been doing a lot of that this year. Mickey Stanley batting third against lefties. Gates Brown on the bench. 410 off the Rooker card. He has power. It is gone. Well, it just seems like whoever bats third for Detroit, whether it's Gates Brown or Mickey Stanley, is a wrecking crew. 2-zip. Willie Horton. 2-3 third. And Norm Cash, 37, is a single. Just got out of that. Bill Freehan batting sixth against the lefty. 63. First C. All right, the Pirates. They expect to do some damage against Bill Hands, who's not particularly good against lefties. Richie Hebner, 39, well, single on a 14, and he gets it. Roberto Clemente, 32, but that's a 6-4-3 double play. Not good news there. Al Oliver, 67, and there's a base hit. And with 2 outs, it's Pop Stargell. 48 is a pop to third. Jim Northrup, 56, flies to right. Verizor, 56, against the righty, flies to left. And Terrell, Jerry, flies to left. Bottom of 2. Pirates do have home field by getting the split in Detroit, and they want to finish the World Series in Pennsylvania. If they can. They don't want to go back to Detroit. Bob Robertson, 2-9, is double 1 to 15, double 1 to 12, excuse me, 2 base hit. Rennie Stennett, 1-9, that's a base hit in a center field. Robertson, 10, -2 arm, he'll stay at third. Runners in the corners, nobody out, 2-run lead, they'll play it back. They'll concede a run. Dave Parker, 35, single, 1 to 12, lines out on a 19. Larry Milbourne, 1 out, B-bunter, they're going to bring it up here. With 1 out, I prefer to do that, not with 0 outs. 47 off Hands, the sac fly to center. Moot point, runner at first, 2 outs, sinking in. 47 Ks. 2-1, the score. Into the third, it's Billy Grabarkowitz. 1-8 is a K. Al Kaline, 58, flies to center. Mickey Stanley, 47 is a K. Bottom of the third, it'll be Richie Hebner, 512, walks. Tyron at first for Clemente. 35, this time it's single dot. 2 on for Al Oliver. 47, Sky's the center. Willie Stargell. 3-5, we'll look at it again. We'll look at the card again. He homered it on that same roll yesterday. Does it again here. Oh boy, Willie Stargell is unleashing the demons on the rest of baseball after 2 horrible seasons in 2021 and 2022. But this year, he has the long ball going, not necessarily the batting average, but the long ball is right on course. 3-5, 3-run homer, one of his 48 homers in 1971. 4-2, Bob Robertson, 1-6 is a walk. Rennie Stennett, 3-6 is single dot dot. My goodness, on the corners with 1 out for Parker. 48 is a pop to third, and Hands really needs this guy. Bill Hands does. Larry Milborn. 6-10, it's going to be an X. It's third X. Oh boy. We got Grabarkowitz playing second today with McAuliffe on the bench. We got Jerry Terrell at third, a 3E32 here. And that is your single dot dot on your 3 third basemen. Grabarkowitz is playing second. We moved into second. You get more chances at second than third, so we preferred the better defense at second and third base, but it cost them there. That was to Rooker's really good against lefties, so the Tigers have McAuliffe, Brown, and Stevenson, 3 lefties on the bench. Runners on the corners, 2 outs for Manny Sanguillen. 2-6, grounds to short. Well, Pirates have a 5-2 lead. Into the fourth. Willie Horton, 32, fouls out. Norm Cash, 37, single. Just like in the first inning, same roll. Bill Freehan, 2-6. Let's take a look at Bill Freehan. I haven't seen a lot of him this year. He would probably be ticked off that he's in a platoon with his John Stevenson character. But the reality is, Freehan doesn't do a lot against right-handed pitching. Very low batting average there. I mean, it's some 5, 6, and 7. That is it. So, reluctantly moved into a platoon where he crushes lefties. And 2-6 is one of those hits for your 262 hitting catcher with 10 home runs. 2 men on for Jim Northrup. 69 off Rooker is second X, but you got Stennett, a 4E41 second baseman. And of course, you get the error right on cue to load the bases. And I think, if Pittsburgh, my goodness, if you had like a Larry Boa playing short for this team, and or a Tommy Helms playing second base for this team, we wouldn't be, worried about this team in the World Series. They'd have it in the bag. Tom Verizor, bases loaded, 1 out. They're going to check out this card. We'll show you the card. We're going to bring the infield up because obviously in the one column, it's all outs at the plate and no double plays. So no reason to play back for double play. You're not going to get one on the hitter's card. They're bringing it up with a 5-2 lead. The pitch to Verizor. 2-11, pops the second. And Jerry Terrell, chance to make a name for himself in a rare plate appearance in the World Series. 57, well, he makes a name for himself. He strikes out. 5-2. Tigers squander that opportunity on the error. And when they batted around in the third of the Pirates, they'll go right back up to Hebner again. Great leadoff hitter. 1-5, flies to right field. Clemente, 1-5 is homer, 1-3, double the rest. And we get a 3, and we get a homer for Clemente, who had only 13 of those. That's one of them. It is 6-2, Pittsburgh. Al Oliver, 2-9 single. Stargell, 58, short X. Here's another 344 shortstop. 341 shortstop makes the error, so you don't pull it. That's part of the home field advantage. You just stop right there. No need to plug in the 44 if the 41 makes the error. That's an E6. We're talking about crooked numbers. We got a few on the board already. Bob Robertson, 411, left X. Northrup's a 2E6 in left field. Has to catch this one, but he cannot. Oh, that's a real unfortunate break there. The 2 Northrop in left field gives up a double. Ouch. And once again, these Pirates, they piled on in Game 1, fell asleep in Game 2, and they're piling on in Game 3. Second and third for Stennett. 68 is a K. Being nice, point of weakness hit. We're giving a break to Hands here as he's come dangerously close to hitting it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One more hit. That's a single. How many walks? Does he have 4 yet? Just 2. Being kind there in a 7-2 game. And here is Dave Parker. 2-8, grounds to short. I think the trade-off will be with a lefty leading up next inning. I think they're going to park old Bill Hands here. As the Tigers want to try a comeback here. So top of the 5th, Billy Grabarkowitz. 35 is a walk. Al Kaline, 1-8, and here comes your Tigers. Base hit to center field. Mickey Stanley, 2-run blast in the first. 3-5, let's take a look at the car. Here come your Tigers. Like I said, 71, Mickey Stanley. 292 hitter, 7 home runs. Arguably his best offensive performance. Amazing defense as usual. That's a single ... We got a 7-3 aim. Runners in the corners for Willie Horton. 1-7, let's take a look at the Willie Horton card. My goodness. Why are you pitching to this guy? We got a 7-2 lead. It's the 5th inning. What am I supposed to do? Intentionally walk a guy with the guys at first and second or whatever? No. 1-7, Willie Horton. That is gone deep into the Pittsburgh night here. 298, 15 homers, and only 238 at-bats. I think he got hurt or something. I don't know why he only had 238 at-bats that year. That's your 3-run bomb. And we got a ball game again. It's 7-6. Norm Cash. 1-7's a K. Freehand. Rooker trying to qualify for a win. Bill Freehand. 1-6. Homer 1-7 for Freehand. It's a double. The Pirates should not be beholden to let Rooker qualify for a win if it means losing home field in the damn World Series. You got a runner at second, 1 out, and you got the lefty Northrop. And the bottom half, like I said, isn't particularly good once you get past Northrop. 37 grounds to second. The tie runs at third base for Tom Verizor, and here's the pitch. 56 is a fly ball to left. Rooker gets through 5 somehow. It's 7-6. Hands is gone. Had enough of Bill Hands. He'll go, like I said, he's going after 4 as the Pirates mounted a comeback. Now they're going to turn to this great bullpen of Fred Sherman, George Culver, and Hiller. They haven't been used at all, except for Hiller. So they've got plenty of juice in their arms here. Early call in the 5th inning for Fred Sherman. Hope he had his coffee. Did not expect to come in this soon. So Fred Sherman's coming on in the 5th inning. Great year for Fred. In 71, for your Tigers, 11-6, 2.71 ERA, and 113 innings, all in relief. Of relief 4, joining George Culver, who they got from Houston, as a relief 4, joining John Hiller of relief 3. That is probably the best 3-man bullpen. Plus Steve Keeley's the long guy. Bottom of the 5th, Pirates saw their lead evaporate, and they don't have that pinata Bill Hands out there to knock around anymore. It'll be Larry Milbourne leading off. 68 pops to first. Sanguin. 55 is a walk. Now Hebner really beats up on left-handed pitching. 2-5's a K. And with 2 outs, it's Clemente. 6-12, a right C. 7-6 after 5. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, the Tigers have some life now. Looked hopeless early. Now the tide has turned. Jim Rooker still in there as a starter 7 to face Jerry Terrell. 6-11 is a strikeout. You know, the thing is, you want to stop the bleeding, I suppose, but the minute you get a righty in there, you've unleashed the gates of hell to come off the bench at a key moment with his .338 batting average, plus Dick McAuliffe. So be careful what you ask for with Jim Rooker. Maybe you just sweat out the bad inning and, you know, try to see if you can figure this thing out in the 6th. 1 out. Back up top. Billy Grabarkowitz. 55, bounce to the 2nd. And with 2 outs, Al Kaline. 6-11 is a strikeout. Jim Rooker does indeed figure it out. Gets the last 6 out of 7 guys out after the big homer by Willie Horton. So you got to give the guy some props here. Slamming that door, not preventing further damage. And I believe a lefty is definitely going to be more effective against these Tigers, with only Mickey Stanley and Bill Freehan being better. If you can pitch around those guys, and of course Horton, you should be able to do better than unleashing the gates of Hell Brown. Sherman continues into the bottom of the 6th. It's Al Oliver. 38's a base hit. Pop Stargell, homered against righties in the series, has not had one against a lefty. 412 flies to center. Bob Robertson, 2-6, is a short B+. That's simple. It's a simple fielder's choice, as nobody's being held on base for these teams. And it'll be Rennie Stennett. 58 is a K. All right. Nice 2 innings of work for Fred Sherman. Now you have to contemplate how much you use him so you can keep him fresh for the stretch of the remaining part of the series here. I'll probably pull him. Top of the 7th of a 7-6 game. Rooker. This is his point of weakness inning. And you do have Stanley, Horton, Cash, and Freehan. Danger against lefty, danger against lefty, danger against lefty with 3 out of the 4. And we're going to pull Rooker. We want to reward him for getting us through the 6th inning without any further damage. No need for him to pitch to Mickey Stanley. Now we're going to see how smart this Tiger lineup is against Bruce Keeson. The setup guy with Hernandez and Justy. Keeson was in the rotation, actually started he came in relief in many of those World Series games in 71. I don't know if he had a start. Pittsburgh had like 5 different starters in the 71 World Series. They had Doc Ellis, they had Bob Miller, they had Blass, they had Luke Walker, and Bob Moose. And they had Bruce Keeson as well. So they had plenty of starting pitching. Bruce Keeson comes on in the 7th to face these righties, beginning with Mickey Stanley. You're not going to get Mickey Stanley out of the game. He's too valuable defensively, and he's okay against righties. Not as destructive as he was against lefties, though. 66 is a fly to left. Willie Horton, 2-8, grounds a short. And with 2 outs, it's Norm Cash. 1-8 is a walk, and with 2 outs, it's Freehan. Now, if you really want to get crafty, it's not going to happen, first of all. The minute you say Gates Brown, you're going to get Dick Kelly or Hernandez coming into the game. So it's just not going to happen. You're just going to have to live with these righties. So it'll be Bill Freehan. 34, grounds to short. 7-6. Bottom of the 7th, and the Tigers will indeed pull the plug on Sherman and say, great job, you kept us in this thing. We were down 7-2. You did the job when Bill Hands could not, but we got to save your arm for the other games. We're down in the series, or it's tied. George Culver will come on in the 7th inning. He has an ERA of 45 cents. 1 run in 21 innings. It was in the League Championship Series. 72 card for the Astros. 6-2 with a 3.06 ERA in 97 innings. Culver in the 7th. It'll be Dave Parker. 67, single 1-17. Lines out on a 20. More Culver magic. Larry Milbourne. 4-11. Left X. Northrup's a 2-6 in left field. Had that really unfortunate defensive miscue earlier, but now he makes the catch. And with 2 outs, it's Manny Sanguillen. Think about this. Manny Sanguillen at 298. He's batting 9th for the Pirates. 64 off of Culver. Big at bat, big swing here. This is Homer, 1 of 13, fly ball the rest, and this time he gets the home run, and Culver can't believe it. And we have to double check Sanguine's power. Has it against righties, does not have it against lefties. That is gone. It is 8-6, Pittsburgh. Only the second run Culver's given up all year. Richie Hebner in an 8-6 game. 39 is a single chance, 1 of 14. He lines out. So Culver gets line outs on double-digit hit chances, but surrenders a homer on the double-digit homer chance. And the Pirates get that run. It's 8-6. We forgot to give you the stretch time music. We'll do it after the 7th this time. We've been enjoying the Intruders, 68 LP, Cowboys to Girls, played on the radio in Pennsylvania and Maryland during this timeline in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia on the Gamble record label. Cowboys to Girls was their big hits along with Sad Girl. Love is Like a Baseball Game, Friends No More. And they do a cover of By the Time I Get to Phoenix, which hopefully will be in the off season toasting a World Series trophy if you're Pittsburgh fans. All right, now we go to the 8th, 8-6 game. Can the Pirates improve their defense? Absolutely. Absolutely. Bill Mazeroski's got to get into second base. And the question only is, do you take out Dave Parker or Randy Stennett? We'll leave Stennett in there. Actually, no, we'll take Stennett out. We'll leave Parker in there. If Parker needs to leave, we'll bring in Richie Zisk. The Pirates have waves and waves of hitters. It's not like they're going to fall off the mountain here. Not like I mentioned about Detroit, the bottom half of their lineups with Verizon and Terrell and Stevenson and guys like that, Grabarkowitz. The Pirates are just loaded from 1 to 9. 8-6 game, top of the 8th, Keeson. You got to deal with a lefty Northrop, and then you got righty, 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 righty. With a 2-run lead, that means Keeson can continue against the lefty Northrop. And here's the pitch. 42, flies to right field. Now you got Verizon and Terrell. 310, grounds to short, and if you want to take Jerry Terrell out, let's take a look at Terrell's card. He's not Terrell-able. He's a 265 hitter in 73, 450 plate appearances. Obviously, he's a little bit better against lefties and righties. Again, on your bench, the moment you bring in, you say Gates Brown, Dick McAuliffe, John Stevenson, you're going to get a pitching change, and it's going to be Ramon Hernandez, who has an ERA of 161 or whatever it is. However, we're going to roll that dice, and we're not going to go Gates Brown here. We're going to go Dick McAuliffe. The idea is, come on, Pittsburgh, leave the righty in there. Because Dick McCall's pretty symmetrical anyway. Let's take a look at McAuliffe's card. He will pinch hit against Keeson, so we can get the tie run to the plate if possible if he reaches. McAuliffe ages like fine wine, just like all these other Tigers. Those 68 world champion Tigers, they just continued into the early 70s. In 73, McAuliffe might have had his best year. 274 average and 12 home runs. Great defense, great symmetry, plenty of walks. And the Pirates will not take the bait. No siree. Nice try, but Keeson's going to leave after an inning and 2/3. Nice try. I commend Detroit for trying to sneak a lefty in there. But we're going to go Ramon Hernandez. And then by the time I get to Phoenix, by the time we get to Mickey Stanley, it'll probably be Dave Justy. So Ramon Hernandez will come on in the 8th to face the pinch hitter. Let me give you Hernandez stats again. 5-0 with a 167 ERA in 72. Think about this. Hernandez and Justy had their career years in 72. Pirates won the World Series in 71. With Bob Miller closing games out and Joe Gibbon, I believe. But now they have better relievers in 72 when they don't even get to the World Series. So Ramon Hernandez will face Dick McAuliffe with 2 outs in the 8th inning. And here's the pitch. 48 is a walk. Oh, that was a mistake. Now you go to Grabarkowitz, who has no power, trying to reach via a walk. 37, he reaches via a walk. And now it got interesting. It's Al Kaline. And he's pretty symmetrical. And his power, it doesn't really matter. It's the same amount. And I think Hernandez made this bet. He needs to lie in this and pitch to this guy. If this guy reaches, we're definitely going to go, oh, it'll be a game of guts. Because if you go to Justy, you could pinch hit Gates Brown with the bases loaded. Oh, boy. So this is going to be Ramon Hernandez on the knife edge here. Oh, this is such a tight scenario. So let's review this scenario right now. If you pull Ramon now and go back to a righty, right, that prevents Gates Brown from getting into the game. Because if you pinch hit Gates Brown, then you can go to Dick Kelly after Kaline's at bat. I think you just have to live and die by Ramon Hernandez here and face Mickey Stanley versus facing Gates Brown. So that's what they're going to do here. Ramon Hernandez is going to continue pitching because he's brilliant, just because he walked a couple batters, against Al Kaline, Hall of Famer, who was at this game? No, the other day he ran on Clemente and scored for his Hall of Fame moment. Looking for another Hall of Fame moment in Game 3 of the World Series on the road, trying to give the Tigers reclaiming home field here. Here's the pitch to Al Kaline. 110, he reaches. Maybe not. Hold on one second. This is single 1-13, and he rolls a 12 and reaches. And now you got Mickey Stanley up. And now, yeah, you got to pitch to him. Now it's between a rock and a hard place for the Pirates. You've doomed yourself now, because if you go righty, they go Gates Brown, and you cannot make another pitching change. So you've got to go Ramon Hernandez versus Mickey Stanley in a situation. Did we show you the Stanley card? I think we did at the beginning of the game. And the crazy part about it is, less homers than Gates Brown, probably hits for a similar batting average with a slightly less of an on-base percentage because he doesn't have any walks against lefties. But Mickey Stanley against lefties is almost as dangerous as Gates Brown is. And here it is, folks. Mickey Stanley, 2-run homer in the first, RBI single in the fifth, bases loaded, 2 outs in the 8th inning of an 8-6 game, trying to reclaim home field for the Tigers. Here is the pitch. 3-6, Mickey Stanley! Homer, 1 of 14. No, it's going to hit off the top of the wall for a double. 2 runs will score. Al Kaline, he's going to try legging this again. He's a 14. He is a 14, 15, 16 against Al Oliver's throw. Here's the play at the plate. He scores! A 2-out, 3-run double off the stunned Ramon Hernandez, who gives up 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs without getting anybody out. And now you got Willie Horton. And now I'm thinking, well, if you bring in a righty, you'd have to leave Horton in to face the righty. Yeah, you won't bring. Yeah, you've got all you can get here. So you can't give up that homer to. So the boos come out. Hernandez leaves after blowing this game horribly. It'll be Justy. Gates Brown wants to pinch hit, but you're not going to pinch hit for Willie Horton. So the next available time we would see Brown sneak in this game would be at the bottom here. So it will be Justy coming on in the 8th after the complete implosion of Ramon Hernandez, one of the best relievers in baseball. Walk, single, bases loaded double, cleaning off the bases by Mickey Stanley, who has 6 RBIs of the 9 runs today. What a year for Mickey. Justy comes on in to face Willie Horton. And here's the pitch. 47, that's a strikeout. Well, he let the horse get out of the barn, and now it's up to the Pirates to make a comeback. And they got Culver, Hiller, and 6 outs. Culver will pitch to Clemente, and then we'll see. It will be Hiller for a potential 5-out save. So, do the Tigers have any defense to bring in? Well, McAuliffe is now going to play second. Terrell is out of the game. Grabarkowitz goes over from second to third, where he's still at 2. And that's the only changes that were made. Mickey Stanley, unbelievable. Would not have seen that one coming. And now the Pirates in the bottom of the 8th against George Culver. Leading off, it'll be Roberto Clemente. 4-11. This is right X. This is K-Line. A 2-0 in right field. He makes the catch. Now, Oliver and Stargell. I mean, if you know you're going to get What's His Doodle in the game anyway, you might as well get What's His Doodle in the game, is my thought. You know Hiller's going to pitch in this, so let him pitch now. Let him go for 5 outs. He's a relief 3, for Pete's sakes. Don't push more out of these guys. You got 2 innings out of Sherman. You're going to need him. You got an inning out of Culver. You're going to need him. So sure, Hiller is going to try and get you the win. That's what you need more than anything, a victory here. John Hiller will face Al Oliver. Hiller's brilliant 73, .44 ERA. If he can save 2 of these 3 victories, he, along with Mickey Stanley, are in line for World Series MVP early on. So here's Hiller looking for a 5-out save with a 1-run lead. All the Tiger defense is in, and it's Al Oliver. 44! He doesn't have power against lefties. Homer, 1-9 double. He gets the double. Al Oliver's at second base. And now you got Willie Stargell with a tie run at second, as the lefty relievers for both teams haven't gotten anybody out. Pop Stargell, he has a home run today. He needs to match Stanley. The pitch to Pop Stargell. 58 as a K. Tie run at second with 2 outs, and it's Bob Robertson with a base open. No, that's okay. Mazeroski's on deck, and he hits lefties better than righties. Almost as good as a hitter against lefties as Rennie Stennett, for Pete's sakes. The pitch to Bob Robertson. 3-6 is a strikeout. Detroit Hiller gets the 2 outs, and the Pirates strand that runner at second. We go to the 9th. Justy's got to finish this thing. They have Dick Kelly available if it goes haywire for garbage time, so as not to tax Justy. But he'll pitch the 9th. Norm Cash. 57's a K. Bill Freehan. 2-8 bounce to short. And Jim Northrup. 1-6 grounds to second base. And look how easy that was for Dave Justy. And look how horrible it was for Ramon Hernandez. 4 out of 4 reach, and all 4 are out. So obviously the choice for pitching change, damaging the Pirates today, not damaging the Tigers. They don't have to make that choice. We know it's Hiller. Sometimes you have 2 closers, you're not sure which guy to bring in. And yeah, that really hurt. Bottom of the 9th, 5 outs, 3 outs to get. It'll be Mazeroski, Parker, and Milbourne. Let's take a look at Mazeroski. 254 hitter in 71. He already has a homer in this World Series. Of course, we know he got a World Series ring in 1960 for a similar feat. Has power versus lefties. Could hit a homer off the Hiller card or his own in a 9-8 game. So here we go. The pitch to Bill Mazeroski in the bottom of the 9th. 1-6. Is it going to be a single chance? It's single, 1-2-8. Doesn't matter, he rolls a 20. Tough break for the Pirates. Batting for Dave Parker, it's going to be Richie Zisk. My goodness, the 288 Parker leaves. The 324 Richie Zisk enters. 324, 10 homers, and 333 at-bats in a crowded outfield where they're playing alongside Roberto Clemente because it's a carryover league, and so the tragedy of Clemente's passing does not happen, so they get to play with him. And that's a big bonus for these Pirates. So with 1 out, it'll be Richie Zisk. Here's the pitch. 3-10's a walk. He's an 11 runner. That's good enough to continue. Actually, you really could put some pressure on the Tigers by putting Frank Taveras as a pinch runner for the DH. Because you're not going to pinch hit anymore for anybody. Yeah. So yeah, they're going to actually pinch run Frank Taveras. B stealer. Freehand's got a -2 arm. Don't think he's going to steal. I think he's just going to keep that plus in play. Here, you don't do catcher's indifference. and let the runner go down to second base because it's the tie run. And moreover, Pittsburgh's got loaded with hitters that could score him with a hit. So you can try and keep that runner at first and maybe bait him into making a steal. And the batter is Larry Milbourne, and you think for a moment of a potential hit and run here with Sanguine and Hebner up next, with the only downfall being a Lomax on a hit and run. Let's take a look at the Larry Milbourne card first. Hit 279 and 74 for the Astros. And it is John Hiller, and it's a great opportunity, you would think, to get the runner in a scoring position with 2 outs and the dangerous Hebner up next. The only downfall here would be a double play. But I think I'm going to do a hit and run with Larry Milbourne versus him swinging away. So here we go, a little hit and run with 1 out, Taveras and Milbourne. And here we go. It's going to be a 9, so that's going to be a fielder's choice. So that's a wasted at bat. It would have been a strikeout on the Milbourne card for people who want to know the other result. But the hit and run fielder's choice, all we're doing now, unfortunately, is substituting one B stealer for another. Taveras is a B, Milbourne's a B. You got a runner still at first, it's just a different runner. Being held on, you still don't want to let him get to second base. And you got Sanguine. Let's take a look at Sanguine. Now he, of course, is better against lefties, but he doesn't have power against lefties. So to score the runner from first, you're going to need a triple or double, or the homer off the Sanguine card. So here it is, in a 9-8 game, bottom of the 9th. The pitch to Manny Sanguine. 2-2 for Sanguine, pops to third base. And a little heartache here in Pittsburgh as they let Game 2 slip away. It is the Tigers with the road win, 9-8. They were down 7-2 in this affair. We talked about this in the middle innings, how we're not going to let Bill Hands blow the World Series. They hooked him after 4. They turned it over to Sherman, Culver, and Hiller. They did the job, folks. While Pittsburgh's much vaunted pair of closers, Hernandez and Justy, Ramon Hernandez, blows the Pirates' chance of retaining home field. That means this World Series, the Pirates have to hope that they go back to Pittsburgh. The Pirates, have to hope they go to Detroit. If the World Series ends in Pittsburgh, it means the Tigers are winning the World Series. That's it from Game 3, the Tigers. It is Culver with the win, John Hiller with a save, Ramon Hernandez with a loss. 9-8 game. Tigers take a 2-1 series lead into pivotal Game 4 in Pittsburgh. Thanks for checking this out, and we'll see you next time.